What's up everyone? Welcome to this video on the Aquarius Sun and the Scorpio Moon. If you're new here, subscribe, join the Scorpio Moon tribe and tap on the notification bell so you don't miss a brand new episode. Now if you're new here, I actually also have this combination. Yes, I have the Sun in Aquarius and the Moon in Scorpio. And I also work with a lot of people that have this combination in one-to-one sessions. So not only am I an embodiment of this combination, this energy, this powerful energy, I also interact with a lot of people who have this in the natal chart. And it's a very mystical, magical, galactic, multi-dimensional energy, and we're going to talk about it. And before we get into it, if you want to learn more about your Scorpio Moon in depth, I have a Scorpio Moon self-transformation guide. It is a guide that decodes the Scorpio Moon step by step, providing you with absolutely everything you need to know about the Scorpio Moon. It includes your sun sign, your rising sign, your Pluto, your Mars. It's astrology and alchemy. I'm providing you with tools and techniques and just simple, easy, yet alchemical ways of how to live your best life, how to do the shadow work, how to be who you're born to be, and how to be the embodiment of the phoenix that rises. So if you want to learn more, check out the link down below. It's called the Scorpio Moon Self-Transformation Guide. And also, if you're looking for t-shirts or hoodies that say Aquarius Sun and Scorpio Moon, I have them on my merch store. I always wanted to have like something that said my sun sign or my moon sign on a piece of clothing. So I'm so excited that I get to share this with others now. So if you want to check them out, the link will be down below to my merch store. And I will be putting up new designs. If you want to be updated, the best way to keep updated with me is on Instagram. I post on my stories almost every day, and I always like update you there. So you can also check out my Instagram at Rio Courts. But enough of that. Let's get into this video now. So let's talk about the Aquarius Sun and the Scorpio Moon. Magical, mystical, galactic, multi-dimensional. These individuals are from the future. They are time travelers. It's almost like they have teleported from another dimension, another time, another realm, another universe, another galaxy, and have volunteered to come here and leave their mark. A lot of the people that I meet with this combination always have just this very powerful energy and a very strong starseed energy, and it's usually very indigo. And indigo is the spiritual warrior. It's the truther. It's the one who has a very strong third eye. It's the rebel. It's the individual. You can't hold them back. They are their own person, and they live life by listening to their own intuition, and there is nothing you can do to influence them because they're so strong in who they are. They're sovereign beings. And often these individuals can feel very alone at times. There can be moments where you feel just like you don't belong here, like home is somewhere else. And that can create a lot of melancholy, but also you always remember why you came on Earth. It's like you remember that you came here for a specific mission, a soul mission, to make a difference, to make an impact. The Aquarius energy, it's an air energy, so it's very intellectual, it's very forward-thinking, very futuristic, but it's ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Now, there's two different types of Aquarians, and I'm going to discuss that more on my main channel at some point, so you can subscribe there. I'll leave the link down below. But there's two types of Aquarians. There's definitely the more Saturnian Aquarian and then the more Uranian Aquarian. It's an air energy, so it's very intellectual, very forward-thinking, very futuristic, very concerned about the world, humanity, and society, and how we're progressing as a society, as a human race. I'm sure, like many of us, you know, when we were little, we thought that the Aquarius zodiac sign was a water sign because it's the water bearer, the symbol of it. I'm sure at some point I must have thought that too when I was younger. And when I was younger, I used to go and check my horoscope on the internet all day long, baby. Like I used to come back from school and the first thing I used to do was go on the internet. I grew up with the internet. So I used to type in on this little website I used to find my horoscope on, and I used to go in Aquarius, and some days it would make sense and some days it was a load of nonsense, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Like, why did it make sense on some days and some days it just didn't? And that always kept me so curious until I learned about the real astrology, apart from, you know, the zodiac, the star sign astrology. And I always resonated so much with water. But then when I found out that the Aquarius was an air sign, I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense because I'm so connected with water. Like, there's something about water. I drink water all day long. I actually don't drink anything other than water unless it's like a fruit juice or herbal tea. Like, I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink fizzy drinks. None of that. I really take care of this temple. I know a lot about how food is connected with our ascension and our awakening and our crystalline body. So just having that knowledge and wisdom, I abide by it, and I follow through to give myself the best life possibly through what I feed myself. But this connection with water was just so strong. Like, I just saw water as a gift, as this cosmic celestial element, and I just love showering. I love taking baths. I love water. I love looking at the ocean. Like, water just feels like home to me. And then when I found out I had a Scorpio moon, I was like, well, that just makes sense. And although Aquarius is an air sign, it still symbolizes water. Yes, it's not emotional like a water sign. Yes, it's not sensitive like a water sign. However, it represents the water as a gift, as a giving. And I see Aquarians, those that are in alignment and are walking on the path of the Starseed, I see them as a gift. Like, you are a gift. You are the water bearer. You are the giver. You know, you're always pouring into people's cups. Like, you're the Ace of Cups, you know? You're the Star card. You are just so mystical. And many will live a very unorthodox life. They won't live a life like everyone else because they can see through the bloodlines, they can see through the matrix, and this is just a starseed energy. And it's a good balance of air and water, because air is the masculine energy, the logic, the left hemisphere, the yang energy, and water is the intuition, the feminine energy, the yin energy, the right hemisphere. And you got the yin and yang, although sometimes this can be challenging because you can go from being so emotional, so sensitive, and then just completely detaching and then just getting in your field. So it's kind of like a battle, but you learn how to just move with it. You know, the older you get, the more you start to embody this beautiful celestial combination, this energy, you learn how to work with your Aquarius energy and your Scorpio energy and pull from each of those polarities when you need assistance. Like, when I get too emotional and you know, I'm getting too overwhelmed, I get into my Aquarius energy, and that helps calm me down. Like, that air helps calm me down. And when I feel like I'm being too detached right now, that's when I connect to my water and get back into my intuition, my sensitivity. And something that I really like about the Aquarius sun and the Scorpio moon is that you're able to embodiment that true starseed, the indigo energy, because of that Scorpio moon. You know, often with Aquarian energy, what I see is if somebody has too much of it and they don't have a balance of earth or water or fire to balance that air, because it's a fixed energy ruled by both Saturn and Uranus, it can get too stubborn in its logic, in its beliefs, in its way of thinking and its philosophies. And that's great. You got to be passionate about what you believe in. But often the Aquarian energy can be so futuristic and so scientific that it can often get too irrational. Like, right now you're hearing a lot of people being like, oh yes, Pluto's going to move into Aquarius and things are going to change and we're going to have this new Earth and this age of Aquarius. But there's a very dark side to the energy of Aquarius. And a lot of people just be doing the fluffy bunny stuff and they don't understand duality. They don't understand darkness. And with the Aquarian energy, it can be very scientific. And the thing with being too scientific is that you can get too AI and too archonic with the science as well. But what that Scorpio moon does, it gives you that intuition, it gives you that emotion, it gives you that heart, that soul, that spirit, and it balances that Aquarian energy so that you are able to be in the embodiment of the indigo. Science and spirituality have to meet together. It can't be one or the other. We need the balance. We need the yin and the yang. But often the science that we are exposed to is paid science. It's science with an agenda. It's often also false science. And if you've got a very strong third eye, you can see, like, when people use like studies as a way of supporting this argument they're making, this point they're making, they don't understand that a lot of studies are paid for. You know, the conclusion is paid for. So you have to be very mindful with, you know, the science aspect. But that Scorpio moon, it gives you that third eye so you can see through the bloodline. Before I finish with this video, I'm going to share a powerful example. And I feel like I've been doing this video longer than all the other videos I've done, but I feel like I have to as well, because those that are born with the Aquarius sun and the Scorpio moon, and I meet a lot of people who have Uranus and Aquarius too, and that sun and that Uranus conjunction is very starseed, especially when you got that Scorpio moon also in the mix. So this energy is so important for the future. Like, often the people that I meet, you know, they are the starseeds. Like I said, you are a cosmic being, and many of you will feel like you have come from outer space, from another universe, and you're here for a purpose. But hear me out with this example. A very scientific way of thinking, a very logical way of thinking is, let's say for example, we're growing some fruits or vegetables. Man will think of, okay, how can I make these fruits and vegetables grow quicker? How can I make them of better quality? Perhaps it's someone who wants to sell them. Perhaps this person has a fruit vegetable farm and they want to make profit. So they're thinking very scientifically, very logically, and they're like, okay, how can I make this grow fast? How can I make this excellent quality? How can I make it a certain color? How can I make it taste a certain way? That very left brain logical perspective will think of, oh, hang on a minute, let me use AI, let me use science, let me use GMOs and completely rewrite the DNA of these fruits and vegetables and make them grow quicker, make them an excellent quality, make them look delicious, make them also taste delicious. That's a very unintegrated, logical way, scientific way of viewing creation. But then here comes the aligned, intuitive yin energy, the Scorpio moon energy, and it says, this is creation. Let creation take its time. Let creation do what it needs to do. You know, if a tree gives you a few bad apples, we have to honor that because that's creation. Let creation do what it came here to do. Let's not go against the will of nature, of creation. Because we're organic beings and we must eat organic. We're cosmic beings. We must eat the fruits and vegetables that are cosmic. We mustn't change them, rewire them, because then we're also going to rewire and change our DNA. The yin energy respects the ancestors and thinks of how the ancestors grew. Yes, there wasn't much, but they would be so grateful for all that they had, all that they would harvest. They would be grateful for even just a little bit. It was a spiritual connection we had back in the days with nature and earth and food. Food was spiritual. And now because we have an abundance of food, like we can throw anything we don't like away and still get more and more and more. And we're so privileged that we have disconnected from that spiritual experience. Food being a spiritual experience. And the reason why I'm sharing this example is because I'm revealing the Aquarian energy when it's not integrated, when it's too stubborn and too logical, and when it's being too scientific. That's when it can get very AI and archonic. That's the shadow Aquarian energy, which is playing out right now collectively. Like, that's the agenda, the AI agenda, the transhumanism. And the Aquarian energy, although it's spoken so highly of, nobody really addresses the darkness of it. And I'm sharing this because it's so important to be the embodiment of the higher manifestation of the Aquarian energy. And the higher manifestation of the Aquarian energy is to be the water bearer, the giver, to be the gift that keeps on giving. Utilize your time, which is Saturn, and be in alignment with your cosmic purpose, your divine purpose. So it's important to have the balance of the logic and the intuition. Aquarius sun is looking forward, but the Scorpio moon often looks back as well. And you need a good balance. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, you just got to look forward, forget what happened in the past is gone, da 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 da. But it's important to integrate all the lessons, all the sacred knowledge and wisdom from the future and from the past, and integrate them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have this combination. Leave a comment down below. Like this video, subscribe, and also if you want to learn more about your Aquarius sun and your Scorpio moon, check out the Scorpio moon self-transformation guide. I'll leave the link down below. And you can also check out the hoodies and t-shirts that say Aquarius sun and Scorpio moon. And for one-to-one sessions, you can visit my website at rioquartz.com, and also connect with me on Instagram. My username is @rioquartz, and I'll see you in another video. Lots of love.